In today's video lesson, I'm going to tell you about the 6 evils that you should avoid when doing Tai Chi at all costs. If you want to stay safe while doing your practice, stick around. Hey everybody, it's David-Dorian Ross and welcome back to 100 Days of Tai Chi. Today is day number 43 on our journey. Brand new movement today, movement number 49, which is called the Twin Peaks Enter the Ears. Then after that, we've got a great question of the day from a viewer about what we call the 6 evils, things that you should avoid when you're outside doing your Tai Chi practice. So that's coming up after this. Now, before we jump into the lesson, let me just say that if this is your first time on this channel and you are a beginner who'd like to learn Tai Chi at home, or if you're a more advanced student who just wants to learn some tips and insights to complement the study that you're doing with a local teacher, then you can start right now. All you've got to do is hit the subscribe button, and here's my power tip that a lot of people don't know. If you click the little bell right next to the subscribe button, you'll get notified every time there's a new lesson going up, so you'll never miss another episode. All right, now let's jump into the lesson, and that's all coming up right after this. In this video lesson, we're looking at movement number 49, and it's called the Twin Peaks Enter the Ears. Sometimes this is translated as 2 fists box both ears, but I love the name, the Twin Peaks, much more. It always calls to mind this image of standing on the mountains high up in the atmosphere, and you see 2 mountain peaks on either side of you, sort of leaning in to whisper the secrets of the Tao. Anyway, we'll see what this looks like in just a second. So watch me one time, and then we'll come back and break it down. Okay, now what we see here is another new angle. So we did the strike the tiger perpendicular off the line. Now Twin Peaks steps at an angle off the lane, and it's in fact 45 degrees. So you can kind of get the brilliance of the choreography here that I went back to turn and kick with the right heel straight down the lane so that I could orient myself better and then take one small cut across the lane for that 45-degree angle. So here's what the footwork looks like. At the end of the kick, I'm kicking pretty much straight down the lane. The kick folds in, and then my body turns to the right. Now, it is okay to not turn this foot. It's okay to leave that left foot planted before you step. But many teachers actually do a little pivot on that foot. And the reason why is to, again, reorient the supporting foot to face down the lane. That way, when you step into the corner, you're in that back foot being at 45 degrees off of the step that you're making. But either way, sometimes in the very beginning, that little pivot can throw you off balance, and so don't fight it, let it develop. Here we go. So once again, I'm kicking down the lane, fold in, here's my little pivot, not much, and step forward into a bow step facing into the corner. One step, nice and easy. Now here's what the hands are doing. The hands have just separated out. Remember, 90 degrees here, swinging doors open. When you begin this turn, whether it's just the body or whether it's the pivot, they fold in, palms facing you, right? A little bit like I've got these rounded ward-off arms with the elbows facing the earth. As I step down into the corner and land with that heel, they begin to fall. They're making an arc downward, outward, and inward. Twin peaks coming together, right? As they pass by the hips, they make 2 fists. And then as the fists roll around towards the temple level, they rotate. So eventually the palms are facing out and the first knuckles are facing slightly inward towards each other. Here it is again, facing you so that you can see this. All right, here it is one more time. I start off with the arms expand at the end of the kick. I turn, and the palms turn to face me. They drop down and make two fists as they pass the hips. Then arc outward, upward, and inward with the palms of the fists facing out. All right, let's take a look at that whole thing one more time. All right, let me flip the camera so that you can do this with me one more time. If you have any questions about that, again, please, I love the questions, leave your questions for details down in the comment section below. Or conversely, you could say, David-Dorian, you are amazing. You did a great job here. Every question answered. Either way would be fine. And after that, we're going to go on and look at the question of the day. See you in a second. Today's viewer question of the day came from Jumping Chi, who said that an acupuncturist once told her that when practicing Qigong meditation, she should avoid having a wind up her backside, which I think is just good common sense no matter what you're doing. But it is actually a real thing that you want to avoid certain kinds of environmental conditions when out doing Tai Chi or Qigong. Actually, in all of life, medical doctors in China will tell you to avoid certain things which we call the 6 evils, or the 6 external conditions to avoid. Now, when we look at Chinese medicine, we have both an internal cause of disease and discomfort and external causes of disease and discomfort. Internally, there are certain emotions, and oftentimes these emotions go along with the seasons of the year. So as we progress through summer, we avoid being too much happy, too giddiness, or too overjoy, they call it, in the heart. In the autumn, we watch out for melancholy, which will affect the lungs, and so on and so on. And those are things that are coming up from the inside of us. But there's also things outside of us in the external environment that we also want to avoid. And these are known as the 6 evils. And they are the wind evil, the damp evil, the dry evil, the heat evil, the summer heat evil, and the cold evil. Now, what these things are different environmental conditions that will disrupt the flow of your qi. Qi in itself is thought to be a sort of a vaporous or windy kind of element. So anything that would blow against that wind would disrupt the flow of your qi. So these are the things that you want to avoid when you're outside. Don't stand in the damp, don't stand in the cold. Common sense things, kind of things that your mom used to tell you. That's the same kind of things you want to avoid in Tai Chi. So there you have it. That was a great question. Thank you very much. And I hope that now gives you an extra reason to avoid having a wind up your backside. Anyway, if you've got a question, I'd love to know about it. These are the kinds of things that I think make the lessons a lot more rich and full and useful to everybody. Please go ahead and write your questions in the comment section below and keep on commenting on each other's questions. That's just an awesome thing to do. I'm David-Dorian Ross. I've really enjoyed doing this lesson with you. I want to say thank you for the time and attention you give me, for the opportunity to share my Tai Chi with you. Once again, I'm speaking to the people who maybe this is their first time on this channel. If you want to learn Tai Chi at home, you can start right now. Just hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you know when a new lesson's coming up. And I hope to see you in the next lesson tomorrow.